It's happening. You're standing at the edge of a moment that could change everything, and from here on out, the rest of your year won't look the same. We've just crossed the halfway mark of the year, but this time it feels different. Like something unseen is watching, measuring, preparing us for what's next. And there's something about this upcoming week, a strange energy that some of us are already sensing. Have you felt it too? Been having unusual dreams lately? If so, share them. You're not alone. Someone else out there might be feeling the exact same thing. And know this, there's a specific day during this upcoming week that will hit completely different, and you need to be aware of it. There's one reason that day matters more than the rest. I will explain later, so stay with me. But listen closely. July is only just cracking open, and what's coming next, you'll either pass or you won't. And there's only one way to find out. The universe doesn't care about your comfort zone right now. This week begins a spiritual pressure chamber, but not to break you. It's here to activate you. The energies coming in, they don't reward hesitation. If you've been waiting, stalling, doubting, this week might shake something loose or rip it wide open. But don't get it twisted. This isn't punishment, it's precision. You're being pushed, yes, but only because something inside you is ready to burst through. You might notice unexpected decisions coming up fast, emotional shifts, people falling away. A part of you will want to retreat, but the wiser part, the deeper part, knows this is what you asked for. And the truth? The stronger the test, the bigger the quantum reward waiting on the other side. This week doesn't ask who you were. It decides who you're becoming. July isn't interested in your intentions anymore. It's only interested in your alignment. That's why this first week may feel strangely decisive, even if nothing external appears to be happening. You might feel more tired than usual, or wired for no reason, or suddenly realize you can't tolerate something you were fine with just days ago. This is not random. The energetic field is sorting you. You are being gently but firmly nudged into a soul lane. And here's the twist. You don't get to consciously choose it. Your frequency already did. That's why the lane might feel weird at first, like wearing someone else's shoes, but that's because it's not meant for who you were. It's meant for the version of you that's emerging now. You may notice people around you shifting too, some becoming distant, others popping back in out of nowhere. Relationships, habits, even moods are going through micro-calibrations. This isn't your imagination, it's the universe redirecting timelines with surgical precision. And if you try to force your way into a version of life you've outgrown, it will resist heavily. This week, resistance isn't failure, it's redirection. So if things are falling through, breaking apart, or simply no longer sparking something in you, don't panic. It means you're being recategorized energetically. And the faster you lean in, the faster your environment starts reflecting that new lane back to you. The universe is no longer letting people coast. You will be magnetized into momentum or pulled into pause, depending on what your soul needs most. Whether it feels smooth or chaotic, this is not a punishment. It's spiritual curation. Trust the lane you're being placed into, because it's preparing you for what's next. And believe me, what's next is going to require this shift. Sometimes chaos is just clarity moving too fast for the mind to process. Here's the part no one tells you. Underneath all the energetic friction of this first week, there's actually a gift, a massive one. You may feel this gift as a sudden knowing, a hunch you can't shake, a decision that seems impulsive but lands with unmistakable inner peace. That's real. That's not just your emotions talking, that's realignment. And it's fast. This week is a window. If you've been thinking of starting something, starting over, starting again, or starting for real this time, you might feel an almost magnetic pull toward it now. Don't ignore it, because while the energy around us is intense, for those who are listening closely, it's also incredibly clear. If you're getting the urge to clean house, cut ties, start journaling again, move your body, move cities, move out of someone's energy. That's not coincidence. That's alignment speaking in action. The soul doesn't whisper during weeks like this. It roars. The only catch, you have to act while the door's still open. This kind of clarity won't last forever, and those who delay might miss their opening. So if something just clicks for you this week, no matter how small, follow it. Don't overthink it. Let the path reveal itself through your response, not just your reflection. This is your chance to synchronize with the version of you that already knows where they're going. All that's required is your yes. But don't get too comfortable, because the real ignition point, that hasn't hit yet. Not all messages are meant to be heard. Some are meant to be dreamed. This week, the dream world is not a sideshow. It's a main line. The moment July begins, something stirs in the astral. And if your sleep has already been feeling strange, broken, vivid, or unusually symbolic, you're not imagining it. The veil between waking life and the dream world is thinner than it has been in months, and it's only getting thinner. This isn't just personal, it's collective. Expect the unexpected. You may see faces you've never met in waking life but who feel deeply familiar. You might find yourself in places that feel realer than your own memories. You might hear voices that aren't speaking in language, yet somehow you understand every word. Some of you aren't dreaming. You're receiving right now. Dream space is being used as a delivery system. Messages, warnings, initiations, even activations. And if you're part of the sensitive, the aware, or the chosen, you may not be the only one seeing what you're seeing. There are reports, quiet, scattered, but consistent, of people across different parts of the world dreaming of the same symbols, the same numbers, the same animals, the same landscapes. This is more than coincidence. We could be entering what some mystics call a collective dream channel, a temporary network where souls sync up during rest to receive aligned transmissions. Pay attention to repetition. The universe speaks in symbols, not logic. Now, here's where it gets even more interesting. Mercury and Neptune are weaving together right now, which means the borders between rational thought and intuitive knowledge are dissolving. The line between imagination and revelation is blurring. You're not hallucinating. The strange ideas or visions coming to you while you drift off, or the feelings that linger after waking, they are intentional. And if they don't make sense now, trust they're building something. This week, your logical mind might be useless. Your dreams, however, will not be. So keep a notebook by your bed, or draw, or speak what you saw into your phone the moment you wake. Because what you're shown during sleep this week, you might need it sooner than you think. What you used to obey without thinking, you'll now question without fear. Forget the sparklers and red, white and blue. This year, July 4th, isn't about external freedom. It's about internal revolt. Something seismic is locked into the frequency of this day. An ignition point that goes way beyond national identity or historical celebration. This year, July 4th holds the energy of sacred defiance, of breaking personal laws, of challenging the quiet chains you didn't even realize you were still wearing. And you will feel it. It may hit you as a sudden rush of courage, or a surge of frustration, or a strange, overwhelming need to change something now. It might be emotional, it might be relational, it might be a deeply buried pattern that's suddenly impossible to ignore. This energy will whisper, "You've followed long enough, now it's time to lead." And here's the wild part. This rebellion won't always be loud. For some, it'll look like saying no for the first time in years. For others, it might mean walking away from a job, a label, a version of yourself you've been pretending to be. This is not chaos. This is alignment through disruption. Relationships will feel it too. You may find yourself standing up to people you used to fear, or challenging roles you were cast in long ago without your permission. You'll question old agreements. And more than that, you'll finally realize you can break them. Freedom isn't granted, it's remembered. Don't be surprised if your body reacts to sudden surges of energy, intuitive outbursts, a feeling of heat in your chest, or restlessness that builds all day long, especially on July the 3rd into the 4th. This is your soul preparing for declaration. Not war, not drama, liberation. And in your dreams that night, don't be surprised if you see gates, keys, locks, chains. It's all connected. No, you're not losing your mind. You're exiting an old version of yourself. Let's be clear. This isn't about mood swings. This isn't burnout. And no, it's not your sleep schedule. What's happening right now, especially as we move deeper into the first week of July, is something far more cellular. You may wake up one day soon and look around your life and suddenly not recognize any of it. Not your interests, not your goals, not even your reactions. And for a moment, you might feel hollow, blank, like someone hit the reset button on who you thought you were. But this isn't emptiness. This is a formatting process. The soul doesn't evolve by building on top of what's outdated. It evolves by wiping the obsolete code clean. So, if you're feeling foggy, detached, or strangely indifferent to the things that used to obsess you, that's not failure. That's a spiritual wipeout, a metaphysical hard reboot. Your higher self doesn't ask for permission. It updates the system the moment you're ready, even if you still think you're not. You might find yourself acting slightly off this week, laughing at things you used to ignore, losing interest mid-sentence in conversations that used to hook you, suddenly craving solitude after being hypersocial, or the reverse. It's subtle, but it's seismic. That's not confusion, that's calibration. You're getting aligned to a new archetype, one that's a better fit for the frequencies of late 2025 and beyond. And this version of you, it doesn't carry the same baggage, it doesn't run the same scripts, it doesn't need to be liked, understood, or even believed. If you feel a quiet rebellion rising inside you, trust it. If you're drawn to colors you never wore, music you never played, foods you never craved, that's your multidimensional self surfacing. It's not a phase, it's a preview. The thoughts you're thinking this week, they're coming from the version of you you're becoming, not the one you're leaving behind. So don't panic if you feel like a stranger in your own life. Let that strangeness breathe. Don't run back to what feels familiar just to avoid the discomfort of evolution. Because what's familiar? That's the shell. And your spirit? It's done pretending it fits inside something it outgrew lifetimes ago. So pay attention to your new instincts. Watch what excites you without reason. That is your soul remembering who it came here to be. When the code breaks, the truth leaks through. There's something about July 5th that doesn't sit quietly. It doesn't wait in line. It doesn't follow the usual astrological script. This day, this exact day, acts like a splinter in time. It doesn't just deliver energy, it ruptures it. Around this date, you may feel like something in the air gets punched open. Emotionally, it could feel like a wave you didn't see coming, dragging up forgotten fragments of anger, grief, or even shame. You might find yourself snapping at something small, or finally saying what you've been biting your tongue on for months. This is not accidental. There's a cosmic clash happening in the sky, a sharp alignment, possibly lunar, maybe even Mars-influenced, that presses on your inner pressure points. Think of it as a sacred agitation, something that comes to rattle you, not to hurt you, but to expose the dust that's been silently choking your progress. You're not being punished, you're being pierced open. And it's not just internal. Around this day, pay close attention to your environment. Things may start behaving strangely, lights flickering, phone glitches, Wi-Fi suddenly crashing without cause, your GPS taking you the wrong way. Even animals, birds, cats, dogs may behave strangely, watching corners of the room, reacting to things you can't see. This is not paranoia. This is perception expanding. The veil around July 5th is paper thin. Even those who never considered themselves intuitive may suddenly feel things shift. Some may experience time distortion, déjà vu, the sense that something is about to happen, even when nothing looks different. And here's the kicker. This is an activation window. It's the perfect moment to do your own decoding. Pull cards, journal, meditate, try mirror gazing. Light a candle and speak aloud what you want clarity on. The universe is listening extra loud around this point. On days like this, reality becomes a feedback loop. What you say echoes forward. Whatever you do, don't let July 5th pass by unconsciously. Whether it erupts, flows, or glitches, it's delivering intel from your higher timelines. Even your shadow might speak louder, and if you feel overwhelmed, don't suppress. Channel. Some will collapse under this energy, but those who listen, they'll find the missing piece to a puzzle they didn't even know they were solving. Spiritual elevation doesn't come with a group discount. Something wild is happening in the energetic field right now, and it's hitting our connections like lightning. People you just bonded with might suddenly feel distant. Conversations that used to flow, now they feel forced. And someone you thought was long gone from your story might suddenly reappear, like they've been magnetized back into your timeline. It's not random, it's vibrational sorting. The universe is no longer letting you waste time pretending you're still in alignment with people who only match your past self. The version of you that was tolerating that draining friend, gone. The version of you that kept quiet to keep the peace, muted. That version has expired, and with it the frequency contracts that held certain relationships in place are unraveling. Some connections expire not because of conflict, but because your frequency outgrows the old contract. You're going to notice people peeling away, sometimes quietly, sometimes dramatically, and you'll probably feel a mix of relief and grief. That's natural. You're not cold-hearted, you're evolving, and on the other side of that, watch who enters your field. You'll start noticing new connections that feel instantly resonant, eye contact that hits deeper, synchronicities that bring the right person at the right moment. But here's the twist. These new connections often won't make sense logically. You'll just know. Because in this new wave of energy, logic is outdated currency. Resonance is the new language. And here's what's crucial. Don't chase the ones who are drifting. Don't shrink your frequency to keep someone comfortable. That's a betrayal of your own upgrade. Letting go is no longer a loss. It's an initiation. You're not abandoning anyone. You're responding to the call of who you're becoming. The people meant to rise with you. They will feel the shift, and they'll rise too. But if they can't meet your vibration, they'll simply fall off the map. And that's not rejection. That's realignment. You may even look at someone you loved a month ago and wonder, who was I back then? That's how fast this energy is working. This is your timeline sorting itself out in real time. People will either accelerate with you or dissolve into the past you've already left behind. So, if you're feeling lonely, that's not isolation, that's incubation. Something is coming, and your field is being cleared to receive it. The universe is watching how you react to the bait this week. The spiritual battlefield isn't where you think it is. It's not in your work. It's not in your plans. It's not even in your healing. It's in your reactions. All around you, distractions are going to pop up like landmines disguised as opportunities. Sudden drama, random arguments, people misinterpreting your words on purpose, even tech issues or emotional meltdowns. But here's the key. Not all of it is yours to fix. There will be energy this week that's designed to provoke you. But it's not because you're cursed or being punished. It's a filtering process, a spiritual firewall check. The universe is asking one question. Can you hold your frequency even when everything around you begs for your reaction? Some of you will feel the temptation to jump in, defend yourself, over-explain, or get involved in chaos that has nothing to do with your current growth. Stop. That's the setup. You're not being attacked, you're being distracted. There are forces right now, some subtle, some embodied in real people, that are trying to pull you back into cycles that already expired. Loops of guilt, obligation, or savior complexes. This can look like a friend who always needs urgent help but never grows, a family member trying to bait you into an old role, even an online comment that you really want to reply to. Don't take the bait. Because every time you spend your energy reacting to these traps, you miss the subtle guidance coming through the quieter channels. Dreams, body cues, flashes of intuition, and chance encounters. Those are the real messages. And here's the deeper truth most won't tell you. Some of the people bringing you the drama this week, they don't even know they're being used as conduits. They're operating from unhealed places, being hijacked by energies that know how to reach you, and they'll poke your soft spots, especially the ones you thought were healed. The test isn't whether you can stop the chaos. The test is whether you can walk past it unmoved. So if you feel things exploding around you, ask yourself, is this my storm or just a test of my stillness? The less you feed the noise this week, the louder your path becomes. Because when you don't take the bait, something else unlocks. A hidden door, a message that was waiting for you to prove your focus. And that's when things really start shifting. You are standing in the seed moment of your next identity. Let me be absolutely clear. This first week of July is not just the beginning of a new month. It's the activation point of a 3-month prophetic window. We're entering a corridor, July, August, and September. 3 chapters written in invisible ink waiting for your actions to reveal the text. This week is the spark, the match, the sentence that sets the story in motion. Whatever you think, say, decide, resist, allow, or initiate this week, it's going to echo forward, rippling through the next 90 days. This isn't metaphor, this is spiritual math. The energetic momentum that begins right now will shape the themes that show up in your life all the way through the equinox. Small choices made in clarity now will become big outcomes by September. Think of this week as a kind of spiritual timestamp. What you plant this week will be your harvest by the end of September. So be intentional, be bold, be silent if you need to be. But whatever you do, don't sleep on this moment. Because these next 3 months, they're already listening. If you're still watching, I'd like to thank you for your attention.